Ano nga ba talaga ang art? What is art really? Actually, that question is the very first one I always ask my students in UST whenever I'll begin my art appreciation course. And you know what? Believe me, defining what art is has been a constant human endeavor. And up until now, my friends, there is no definitive answer to that very enigmatic question yet. So, the question still remains, what is art really? Ano nga ba talaga ang art? I think to answer that question, we need to go back in time, specifically the classical period, kung saan nabuhay ang two of the greatest Greek philosophers ever. And sino sila? Number one, si Plato, at number two, si Aristotle. Now, what did they say about art? We'll find out. Well, what is Plato saying about art? Well, very simple. He said that art is an imitation of an imitation. Ano ibig sabihin nun, Plato? Well, actually, let's have Philosophy 101 first. Well, according to Plato, my friends, there is a world of ideals kung saan lahat ay tama, lahat ay totoo. And my friends, according to him, our lives here on earth are just imitations of the ideal world. And since he would say that life is an imitation of what is ideal and art is an imitation of life, therefore, art is an imitation of an imitation. Kaya nga mga kaibigan, I think Plato would have problems about artists and poets because he would say that what the poets and artists are actually producing are things that are thrice removed from what is actually true. And I think that is his basis why he called poets or artists in general as liars. Kasi nga naman, what the poets and artists are actually saying are thrice removed from what is true. Tatlong beses na malayo sa kung ano ang tama. Right? And because of that, I think Plato has this disdain towards artists, particularly poets. And he even suggested that poets be banned from the society. Grabe, no? The question is, my point ba si Plato sa kanyang theories about art and his hatred towards poets or artists? Well, actually, to understand it better, let's put it into a more modern context. Halimbawa, film. For example, you're watching a horror film. Now, we all know that while watching that film, monsters or ghosts are not actually present inside the cinema. Pero, if the art form is good, if the film is good, we would feel that we're actually part of the film. And because of that, we would be scared. We would fear the monsters. We would fear the ghost, even though those creatures are not actually there. O diba? So para kay Plato, niloloko tayo ng art. Niloloko tayo ng artist into believing na andyan sila, yung mga monsters and ghosts, even though they are not. Right? So tingin ko yun yung point ni Plato na parang we are bound to do crazy things for something na talagang wala naman, for something that is not actually there. Right? So magandang point din yun. Now, how about Aristotle? Does he agree with the concepts of Plato? Well, actually, not really. If Plato said that poets are not useful in a society, Aristotle thinks otherwise. For him, poets or artists are important. Why? Sabi ni Aristotle, mga kaibigan, for a person to function in the best way possible, kailangan daw ma-experience natin ang all sorts of emotions and feelings and experiences. But as human beings, my friends, it is impossible for us to experience everything. Like, not everybody would be a soldier and experience like torture or maybe fear or anger. May mga ganun eh. Hindi lahat mararanasan natin. And according to Aristotle, that is a job of art. Iparana sa atin o ipa-experience sa atin ang mga bagay na minsan we would never actually experience. Kaya minsan mga kaibigan, while watching a film, we would cry our hearts out, but afterwards we feel okay. Kasi we would realize that, we experienced the sadness, we experienced fear, we experienced anger, pero that's not actually us, but the characters in a particular play or in an art form. Ibig sabihin, even us not doing the act itself, still we were able to experience it. Thus, making us a person who could function the best way that we can. Right? Well, my friends, both Aristotle and Plato gave great definitions about art. But how about you? On which team do you belong to? Are you team Aristotle or team Plato? Now, to my UST students, you have to decide and pick one side. And during our discussion next meeting, I'm gonna ask you about it. So please, pick one side. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye, everyone.